This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the week here. So as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. But first what we're going to look at is going to be the gasoline ETF, UGA, and the big oil ETF, XLE. We're going to keep it all energy going into the old weekend. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation advice on a stock commodity ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the old gasoline ETF, your daily chart and your weekly chart. Now, before we get started here, I had a really awesome post that came to me today that there's a group out there called Horizons ETF. And they've been following me here for quite a while. It seems like I'm making a difference. And I also want to get a big shout out there to my new best friend, Discipline. I just love it. I mean, discipline, that is the key to trading. Okay. Now, again, if anybody wants anything, looked at like a stock or a commodity, just post it right there on my site there. And then what I'll do is I'll put it up there on midday trading for you. So if there's anything that you want, commodity, ETF, whatever, we can get her up there for you. Okay, right now, let's take a look here at the gasoline ETF. Now, usually this isn't really that happening, like right now, but realistically, with everything that's going on here with the crude oil and that kind of whole war situation here, it's taking gasoline up there with it, okay? So this is something you really don't want to see here because that's like a tax there on people. Okay, so now what we have here is, this is what we want to watch, is you want to watch right there is that 63.71. That's going to be very, very key because you can see here how here 3 times, you hit it right here, you're going to be a couple of times here. So you really have to crack that open there. That's that 63.71. Now, again, if you can do that, you got a really nice target up here at 65.44, and that is your 200-day simple moving average here, which was, basically it hit it here twice and then came right off. Now, this here ETF doesn't do a lot of volume, so you're not going to be going in there with, 20, 30, 40,000 shares, something like that. That's not going to work. You got to keep this thing tight. What I do is I layer into this kind of a situation. Now, I usually buy this, like the first, about the second or third week of January, and I just ride it out here for the summer driving. The same way with the XLE, we'll be looking at that, and the same way with crude oil. But right now, it's just a kind of like an unusual situation here, like for the old gasoline. Now, what we have here is we got a good sideways action here. We're looking on the weekly chart here, and you're running into a lot of resistance here. You got your 21-day, okay, you got your 100 SMA here, and then we got your key 50-day at 64.93. But again, if you can get above all that and we can crack this key level here, this 63.71, you got a nice target of 65.44, and then you got a retest up there all the way at that 70.22 level here, okay? Now, remember, you got the Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas holiday. That's usually some pretty good massive driving. People will be driving there, visiting relatives and all this. So again, this here could be a nice good play. What I'm looking for here is if we can get a close above that 63.71, then I'll take a shot and go up to that 65 level. Okay, let's look at the big oil ETF XLE. Okay, now this is one of my favorite trades because simple reason is, first of all, it pays a little bit over a 3% dividend, which is always, always good. But this has all that big oil into it. Now, next year, I think here when you get the new president, I think this is oil, the companies are going to be, I think they're going to be really in good, well positioned because what it is, they're pumping right now, we're pumping about 13.3 to 13.5 million barrels a day. But I think they're going to try to get up to 14 million, even 15 million. And then I think they're going to open up a lot of access here, like to the Gulf, and try to get that heavy crude in there. Because a lot of people don't understand crude oil. Oil is not oil. The United States has what they call a light sweet crude, which is good for gasoline and for products. But for heavy, you need heavy crude, like for diesels, for jet fuel, and all that kind of, like for boats and all that kind of thing. So that's what you got to have. And it's open up here, there in the Gulf. So I think a lot of this is going to open up here for your big oil. Now, this has Exxon and Chevron and Mobil, and all the big shooters out here are in this XLE. It's like a one-stop shopping. That's why I like it versus, I got to bet on Exxon, or I got to bet on Schlumberger, or I got to bet on Mobil. I can bet on this thing here. And if one or two late, it doesn't really matter because you got a nice basket. Okay, so now you can see here we have a nice big gap up. This was the election. Okay, so this is where she ran up. You had a high at 40, and then we came right down here. You have a gap at 92.05. So this is here when the election took place, and it rallied up here very nice here. Now you can see here today's high okay, here so far is what you had is a 97.92, and you can see here 98.97. That is your big target. Okay, so now we have to see what happens when it gets there. Now, what's the reaction going to be? That's the key. It gets to 98.97. Is it going to reverse or is it going to break through there? Obviously, the next level is going to be 100. But once you crack that 100, that even mark kind of a situation, then you start looking at the 105s, the 110s, the 120s. That's just pretty much how it works. Now, we're getting up here to this, well, it's like an overbought condition. However, it can stay up there too, just like we had here, kind of a situation here. But again, we just got to see how this all shakes out. But you're green above your red. You still got room to run. But the key is going to be what is the reaction when it hits that 98.97. Now, always got to look at the downside. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to watch here, obviously, today's low, 96.90, and then we'll come down here to the bottom here is 96.54. But this is going to be key, is going to be this 8 simple moving average here, okay? So you can see now the price is above it, which is always very, very bullish. You just don't want that price below it. So if it comes down there and it holds this, because this could be a very good buying opportunity here. Now, if you look at a seasonality chart, okay, crude oil, usually the first week or two there is where you buy crude oil, and you ride it all the way into the first couple days there of January. Then it's kind of flat, till like mid-February, and then that's where you take it long and you go all the way to summer driving. Okay, so but this year might be a little bit different because we got to see what the whole agenda is once January 20th and new president takes over. But he's into drilling. He wants to be the energy king of the world, and I think he can definitely do it. And then they'll start expanding it. So if you're interested here, like in all the big oil company, pays a dividend, this just might be for you. The key is watch that 98.97 and see what the reaction is going to be. Okay, now let's take a look here at the crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil. We've got a daily, a weekly, and your monthly chart. I like to show the monthly every so often. Always put that on your books. It gives you a little bit more of a longer range kind of a situation. Okay, now you can see here where we've had this nice run. We had that engulfing candles. When you see a candle like that, what happens is you have to see what the next day is going to be. And obviously it went higher and then it went right into the 21 day. But now we're starting to rally right on up here. We're above that 8, the 21 day, and that 50 day. And this is looking actually pretty good. So 71.51. Right now, real time is sitting at 71.30 because all you got to do is just look right over to the left of the chart here, and then we can see where it is. Okay, so right there, okay, that was 71.45, just got a little bit above that, and then we had 71.80. That's going to be your next target. So what we want to do is we want to watch them futures there when the market opens up on Sunday. That's going to be key. And I always have a video for you there, here before 7 to get you ready there for the old Monday. Okay, so Monday, I just think this looks like this is getting very, very bullish here because now we're above the simple moving average. And look at that 8 day, how nice it's curling up here. And once you can get above that, that can take this much, much higher. Now, big brouhaha going on there between Russia and Ukraine and all this kind of. So we don't know how that's all going to shake out. Now, I'm long oil, and I'm going to hold oil here over the weekend. If it comes down here, like on a Monday, down to 70.67, that 50 day, I'm gonna add to my position and take it longer. Okay, now I'm not in that long. I got UCO. I got like 3,000 shares. But again, if it comes down and holds that 50 day, I'll just double it and then take it right back up here again. So really, what we're looking for is the big target up here is that 72.88. That's going to be your target, which is basically just the top of that candle. We get above that, you got old Hondo sitting up here at 73.29 level. Okay, so that's always very, very good. Then we can do is just tighten the top of these candles. Okay, 74.45, that's going to be your next level. And we come up here, 75.08, that's your next level. Then we come up here, 76.24. Then you have your 76.75. That's going to be your big target here. But again, you got to get above the price channel, got to get about 100 day, and then that's going to be your next target. And then we have the retest all the way there at 78.46 level. Now you can see here, you only have 54, plenty of room to run, and your green is over your red now. That's bullish here. So this is actually starting to be a very bullish chart. However, you still are on the downslide. Okay, so you have a high, lower high, lower high, and lower high. You start getting above that 72.88. Well, that you'll break that trend line, and we'll take that bad boy higher. Now, we look on the weekly chart here. Okay, so this is what you got. You got this 8 SMA here sitting at 71.06. Now, this is the first time here where this 8 day, your price now is actually above it here in a long time. Okay, because remember, these are weeks. So last week, this is the week before, and that's the week before where, yeah, you popped up, an old sticky up here, and they popped up. But you couldn't hold it all the way and down. Now this looks very, 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 very good here to get to that 73.41 level because we get the 72.88 and you're sitting there at 73.29. So everything is be sitting right here. That is going to be your big target zone. Now, when you look at a monthly chart here, you can see here where we have a low here for the week. You had a 66.53. We have 66.33 level here. And then what we do is we have this 200 SMA here sitting right there. Okay, so let me see if I can dial that bad boy in. Yeah, okay. So you got 72.77. That's what we're going to be looking for here on that 200 simple moving average here, okay? So you can see here where we're still down is because you can see the downtrend. This is why I like to point this out. See, we have the high, lower high, and a lower high situation, okay? So this is still in a downtrend here, you know, for a month on a monthly basis, just like it is for a weekly, just like it is for a daily. But if you can get above all of this here and you start cranking above the 200-day and you get above this candle right here, that's at 78.46. Well, then you're going to change that downtrend, and then you got another shot to going on up here. Now, if there's a war, if it does escalate, you know, real quick, this can go from here to there in like 2 seconds, okay? So don't ever think that it can't. So unless they get this problem solved here, okay, this crude oil looks like it wants to go higher. But remember, this is a war premium, war premium, war premium, and war premium. If you didn't have that, I really believe that you'd be down to 65 area here, and I think you'd be right down here in this kind of level here, really much, much lower level, down to this 63, if not lower, okay? But that's not what we have. We have to trade what's in front of us, and right now we have that war situation that could escalate in any time, and that could go higher to that 72.88 here. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, daily, weekly chart. Now, you can see here, I've been pointing out here, this key price channels, okay? When it starts getting to the outside, it wants to pull in towards that 8 simple moving average, okay? Because you're looking out here, it wants to come back in. Up at here, it wants to come back in. Okay, even when it's down, it wants to come back in towards that 8, man, it's just like a magnet to a fridge here. Okay, so this was getting outside of the boundaries, and then this morning we had that topping tail, and the candle was right about there at holding the top. So you don't really know, is it going to keep on selling it, or is it going to retract that and go right back to that 356? Well, obviously it didn't do that, okay, and it came right on down and sold right on off here. So now what we want to do, let's just look at the downside here first. Okay, so what we have here, you're sitting at 3.13. So this is what you want, is that 3.07. That's what we had, okay? Then what we're going to do is we'll come over to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 3.05, and then we have that 8-day. That's going to be very, very critical on a closing basis of 3.02. Now, I have no position right now. I scalped the KLD, got 3 points out of that. I'm satisfied with that trade until we see what happens here next week on Monday, okay? Is it going to hold that 8-day? We take a scalp and take it right back up again, or is going to lose that and we come down to the 21-day, okay? So natural gas, a little more fickle. Crude oil, I'm long. There's a whole different situation going on with that, okay? So on the upside here, what we want to do is just do the reverse of what we had, okay? So 3.19 here, and then we look at 3.23. Then we can come all the way here, 3.45, and then we have that big retest there at 3.56 level, okay? So right now here, look, you got a big engulfing, just swallowed that candle right there, just swallowed her whole. So this is what we got to be watching here on Monday. Is it going to hold this low and then come down to the 8? If it holds that 8, that's a good buying opportunity to take that bad boy longer. If not, you're going to look right for that 21-day. That's going to be your key level. And then we have that 50-day at 2.69 right below that. But we got to see how this is all going to shake out. Now, when you look at the weekly, oh my God, look at old Sticky up here. Look at it, all the way there to the top and came right on down. This is what you got to be very careful of. But what you want to do is always look to the left of the chart. So 3.56, okay, we went to all these levels here, got right up to the top of this level here, okay, 3.47. Then we went all the way up to 3.63. Didn't quite make it up there, but you came pretty close. Now, again, if this can reverse, we got to see how this is because this is still a very bullish chart. Look at low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and that you're holding the 8-day simple moving average and pretty much all the averages except for the 200. So this is actually still a good bullish chart here. The question is, can it hold that 8-day to take this higher, or is she going to lose it to take it lower? So right now, I say again, I have no position, long or short in natural gas. I'm going to see how this is all going to shake out here next week kind of a situation. Okay. So again, just remember that here. I'll have a video for you Sunday night, and we'll get you prepared. Yeah, okay. We'll get you prepped there for Monday. Monday morning. Now remember, next week is going to be a shortened week here. So what you don't want to do is just get too carried away. You want to have a nice, good, relaxing Thanksgiving, a holiday kind of a situation here. But again, there's still money to be made next week. And always look at one thing is how I always look at it is look at Monday. Okay, so if you have a high on Monday, you'll get that turnaround Tuesday, and vice versa. But usually going through a holiday, it's kind of like a rallying kind of a situation here. The volume is going to be low, but that can also take the price right on up. Okay, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday night, and we'll have a video for you and get you all set up there for Monday. Remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.